Okay. Good morning, everybody. How are we? I know this is a brand new format, but hey, you know what? We are flexible business people and we're learning great things every single week. Can you imagine how much we learn in 1 week when we apply ourselves, especially for our business? Hopefully you're hearing me loud and clear. And I just want you to let you know that in the actual box, you will have on your screen, on your live box, you will have a ability to write down questions. So I'll be flicking from one page to the next so you can identify what's going on and participate and be involved in everything that we're doing.
The next.
So
I
am going to put volume down on that screen, but I'll be able to actually see the questions that come up, which is really, really good. So here we go. If you just scroll down, you'll be able to see where you can ask questions. All right, let's get the party started. It is Monday, the 7th of March. Now, what I wanted to talk about today is the ideal week, okay? Setting yourself up for the ideal week. Now, if you, it's going to be lipstick out of the way. If you do focus on maybe shedding your time between work, a little bit of work and also working from home, then that's a really important conversation to have. We'll talk about that context. If you work from home, what's the ideal scenario that you need to be able to keep things in place for yourself so you'll be able to work around your own challenges and distractions that come up? If you work full-time and you do this on the side, then how do you apply a little bit of time to this business on the side and apply a lot of work? So basically it's about where you shed and share energy and your mindset. And I wanted to really make a really important point of the importance of creativity and harnessing that energy and really working with that energy. A lot of you work from a lot of creativity and a lot of giving to other people. And in the process of giving to other people, your cup can be a little less full. So I just want to explain what happened this weekend and how important it was. Friday night come, I was a little bit tired and I was like, oh, gee whiz, I really feel like I need to get out of the city. So I ended up going up to Daylesford. So that's sort of my little country retreat where I go to and spent a wonderful day with a girlfriend and met some new people and had some new and interesting conversations. Come back last night and it really filled up the cup. So this week now, there's first and foremost, there's a very clear distinct between having a really full-on work week and then obviously having time to myself. Now, I am probably the worst at being incredibly hard on myself, incredibly hard on timelines and things that I need to do and trying to make things perfect. So I just want to acknowledge again to everybody here, you've been incredible. You have followed every little step that I've given you, a little window. And I want to explain to you a little bit more about the strategies I use also. So there's going to be a lot of content today on why I'm using certain videos and why I'm going to different funnels. So for 4 weeks, I used GoToWebinar, and it'll all come back together in the end, I promise. So for 4 weeks, I used GoToWebinar. Then it was time to upgrade the membership. The challenge was with that is that it's $130 a month, and I really didn't want to invest that in the business then. So once again, it was a business decision. Trying different platforms and formats has been fantastic. Google Hangouts, and I'll work out how to put the slides in soon because I know that we can. But Google Hangouts is a fantastic opportunity to have it with a lead page. So you can have a lead page where people opt in, then you can link that to your MailChimp, and then you can have an email sequence which does a bit of a lead up, which I know other formats do that as well. And then you have a Google Hangout. So essentially you're only paying for what you do for your autoresponder series, and you're paying for the lead pages. So it's a really great opportunity to as a lead source, so people can actually opt in, but it's also a really great opportunity for you to be able to do stuff without regular classes without having to pay for it as well. So it's a little bit of a dual opportunity. If you don't have a huge community, I'll just share a little bit on my background. So I had a humongous following and community, and I do have quite a big community on Facebook. Then I went into corporate for 4.5 years. I really wanted to take a lot of the frameworks and 21st century methodologies into Flight Centre, domain.com.au, BMW brands, where else do I work? Acquire Learning, which is a really great Gen Y sort of environment. And in those environments, got to work with leaders at different levels and bridge some gaps in leadership and sales systems and sales structure. But at the end of the day, it was what I was bringing to the workplace. And now I've come back to launch into my own business, and it's taking a little bit, it's a little bit of time to build up. But also you've got to remember that unless you actually do it, people aren't going to come. So if you are interested in running webinars, let me know. I've got a community that I can send invitations out to, and I'm very big on collaboration and putting that out there. So this is a format that we're using, which is going to be the format moving forward. And it's a really great way of also inviting different parts of your community. There's a whole generation that's on Gen Y that are on this. And the more you can keep up with what's going on, you realize, oh my God, it's just actually so much easier. And I didn't realize. So I just wanted to put that to the forefront and say thank you so much for following. And that's the psychology behind the decisions that I've made. It's got to be easy for me. I want to make it easy for you, and just one click away, and then you can participate. So I just want to also go back. Some of you have just joined, that we actually, if you scroll down on the page that you linked onto, there's actually a question box. So I'll just keep on going back and checking that so we can remain on track. Okay, let's get the party started. So if you actually work from home quite often, one of the strategies that I've come up with that's been really, really effective is to structure the day in, and these calls are a big part of starting off my week. I wake up really early most mornings in order to start the day, and you've got to understand where your most creativity comes from. So if you're at a point within your business where you think, oh, I've got to create this, I've got to create that, just give me a call if you need some help. But what I find is that for me, creativity comes very, very clearly and strongly in the morning. So that's my first question to you. If you're creating products, if you're creating new systems, if you need to write down some manuals or a script, or if you want to produce some new and more content, how do you set your mornings up? Are you a morning person, or are you an afternoon person, or an evening person? Now, some of you might be going, yeah, Liz, that's fantastic. But actually, at the end of the day, most of my creativity comes out at night. And then I end up, being up till 1 in the morning. Some of you might be able to relate to that. I've definitely done that before as well. So it's really important to find out where your creative spike is. And when you find out where your creative spike is, you'll be able to structure the rest of the day. Now, why is that important to sales? Well, you've got to really look at where your energy is. Now, I know people come to you at different times, but you've got to also figure out when it's important for you to either make your sales cold calls, or when to smash out phone calls back to your leads. I'll give you an example of how I used to set things up in the past that really, really worked for me, and how I do it now. So you've got to work out your right system. So I'll give you an example. So wake up early. I know some of you have kids or things going on, so I get that this strategy can't work for all of you, but some of my clients have 3, 4 children, and they've worked out a strategy that works. So in the morning, what you have is a really, really important time frame. It's actually, I'm getting a little bit fluffy with you right now, but it's actually when the sheath is quite clean and clear to your spirit, which means that you can actually bring in a lot of guidance. So it actually is a very good time to wake up quite early and begin your creativity. Now, between the hours of 11 and 6 is the most ideal time to call people. Now, they might be at work, but it actually is the right time. Most people are having a break around 11 a.m. and 11 to 6 is the ideal time to smash out some phone calls, because they've done their work in the morning and then you can make your phone calls between 11 and 6 and really focus on, or even 11 to 5 or 4. Put together that 5-hour block where you're focusing on leads and phone calls. So you can see that the structure is already there in regards to creative time and content time. Then you've got the middle of the day to smash out some phone calls and connect with people, and people are obviously going to lunch and they can actually call you back. And then if you want to take some phone calls later on in the night, because it's easier for your clients, for example, then you can do that. That is an ideal sales day. I've been in sales environments where, you know, things start at 8:30 and they've got to smash out the whole day, and the quality of work does tend to go down. So setting up your day like that is really important, especially if you work from home and you've got a lot of time to yourself. Hopefully that makes sense to a lot of people. Now, if you're doing cold calls in particular, really, really important to start that after 11 o'clock as well. So the cold calls are the scripts. I'm actually making up some scripts. So can you let me know if you actually do want some cold call scripts done for you? Because that's, some of you are doing that. You're broaching businesses or you're broaching new connections. Even on the Partnership Club group, it's the same type of thing. You do need to know how to position yourself. A lot of people don't want to read through a 7-page document on who you are. They'd like to be able to present you in a very succinct way. So getting really, really clear on that is very, very important. Hopefully that makes sense. If you split your time between a part-time job and doing your business, this is where things get a little bit tricky. Your mindset needs to be able to have structure that is, let's say for a formal day, if you're working from home, that same structure needs to be almost imprinted onto your working day as well. So there's a level of consistency. Now, if you have clients throughout the day or your day is structured a little bit different, once again, it's coming back to what is your most highlight day when it comes to creativity and content. I'm going to set a little challenge out today as well, because content is really, really important. And one of the biggest conversations that people don't talk about enough, I believe, is the courage it takes to create content. Elizabeth Gilbert talks a lot about that in regards to, you know, the internal breaking down of resistance when creating content. And I just want to acknowledge how important that is. So if you're wanting to create a video series, a blog, you need to write some content down. If you want to create an environment like this, so you want to be able to create webinars, please, please, please be mindful of writing them all down. And as you put the intention in place, you'll begin to filter in different types of topics. And that's part of trusting your creativity. You will notice different types of topics that are out there and available to you. And it's all about creating a level of structure. So I want to go into a level of format today as well. Now, once again, this has all come back together in the end, but the importance today I want to impress upon you is creativity and structuring your day so you are hitting the right point for your own creativity to come out, for you to be able to create. We all know what it feels like at the end of the day to be able to go to bed and go, you know what, that was a bloody great day. I created some amazing things. It's such a great day. So I'll give you an example. There's this structure called format, okay? Format is, some of you may have got used to this before or heard this before in a corporate or a training setting. This is a training format. 4 parts to format. Actually, there's 5. What are you going to be talking about, which is a one-liner? I'd write this down because I think this is incredibly valuable, especially when you're writing content. What's your topic about? Why is this important? So why is this important for people to know? Okay. The next one is what, again. So what are you going to be talking about? So what are the depths to what it is that you're going to be talking about? What are the statistics people need to know? What evidence do you have to support why you're talking about this? Number 4 is how. So the steps and the processes. It could be a 5-step, it could be a 3-step process that you have that enables you to be able to get started. And the 4th one is what if. what is the what other aspects do people need to know in order for them to be able to take action within the particular tip that you're providing. So this 4-step process is so incredibly important, with the 5th being the what you're going to be speaking about, is so vital and important that it enables you to create some really great strong structure when you're creating a project. Okay, so let me do that again. What it is you're going to be talking about. So I started off today is saying, hi, it's Lizzie Tyrrell. Welcome back. It's Monday morning. Let's get inspired. What we're going to talk about today is structure of your day and creating the greatest space so you can actually access more creativity in your day, so you can actually feel more productive and have experiences where you'll feel more productive. Why is that important? It actually maximizes your output throughout the day. The more structure you have, the more output that you have. What evidence do I have? I have experience in this. I've been in different workplaces. I've worked on my own. I love being in big teams and work environments. But if I'm working from home, I've got to cop that suite like you and add some structure to the day. How do I do that? The how is maximize your creativity in the morning, smash out your phone calls in from 11 o'clock, get the people calling you back in the afternoon, and that will be a great way to be able to do follow-ups and email sequences for the rest of the day. So you're actually creating a wave and a level of momentum behind your business. So that's how your day will be. Now I'm going to go into the 5th aspect, which is my little pinky, is the what if. So what if you have a bad day and you have no one there for a great sense of accountability for you? So no one's there to support you. That's why these types of communities are really, really important. When you're creating new content or a new product, a lot of people say, yeah, no big deal. You know, you follow what other processes other people take. If you're trying to create yourself to be a unique authority, it is incredibly important for you to find your own voice. That can take time. And a lot of people are like, well, Liz, I don't have a lot of time. I've just got to get out there and start building the business. I get that. But you've got to balance those 2 emotional states as well. And this is an incredibly rare conversation. I'm shedding and sharing my own vulnerabilities that come up as well. We always talk about sales processes and strategies. I want to deconstruct my strategies and structures so you can get an idea of how I hold myself at a very high standard. And that's not just being arrogant, That's actually not that much fun sometimes, because it can create a wall between what your clients see as achievable and what they want to give a go, and also understanding you as the trainer and the coach and the facilitator, okay? So the more you get to know how I think and the people that I've been around and why I'm so hell-bent on connection and commitment in this Monday morning session is because I know what works. I've hung out with millionaires. I've created millions of dollars for many, many different companies, and I'm sure you have as well. You've created a lot for other people, and now it's time for you to create for you. And I tell you what, anyone that does not acknowledge the amount of personal and human growth that you need to go through in order to step into creating that level of magic for yourself, when you've given it to other people for so long, then they're off their rocker. They're absolutely off their rocker, because the dedication that it takes every single day to have a routine, to have a level of self-accountability, but not only that, to keep producing and creating new products and new ways which are unique to your voice and your brand is bloody tough. All right. So I just want to keep reiterating that, because this is the type of conversation that's incredibly rare. So hopefully you understand my vulnerability. I have, I think, probably a meltdown once a fortnight. I'm pretty good. I'm actually stretching it out. It used to be once a week. And my meltdown is an internal dialogue that just says, oh my God, this is not working. And it's just so much hard pressure on myself. And the really important part is remembering that the pressure that we put on ourselves really is our ego or our fear. And that part of ourselves really does require a level of nurturing and a level of placating and calming down. So I'm going to set you a challenge, okay? Now, I would like you, please, to choose one thing that you're going to create this week. Now, once again, it could be a blog, it could be a video series, it could be learning how to use lead pages, it could be learning how to, well, not just the learning, but the creation. It could be an ebook, it could be jumping on Fiverr and creating a proposal, a brand new proposal for a potential client. So your first challenge is, what are you going to create this week? And if you can, let's try this out. If you can, pop it in the, I'm trying to look for it, the little questions box. That would be fantastic. If not, you can YouTube it. Well, you can YouTube it if you want. Now, if you want to do a video and you want me to review it for you, I'm very happy to. So if you want to shoot a video, you can do it on your camera, on your phone, but you can also, those of you who have a Mac, you can actually look at, there's a ability to be able to film on your Mac, and it's called QuickTime. And if you click on QuickTime, you can do an audio, but you can also do a video, and you can also videotape your screen. So like you're doing an instruction for other people as well. Really great way to create resources. So one of the things, I can't remember whether I told you already, but I'll tell you again, is that I audio record these sessions from my end. So they come across quite crisp and clear, but also I'm building a resource bank account as well. Now, if you're trying to wrap your head around like, how would that work for me? I'm not really sure. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Just start doing the content and creating. Now, once you build up an account of different types of resources, you know what happens? Your confidence goes through the roof, and your confidence is linked with your creativity. One of my clients last week, we had a really big session of pushing him through courage. And we can all get into the phase of, I want this to be perfect. I want things to be lined up. At the end of the day, your clients want you. They want to work with you. So it's remembering that, don't worry about everything being lined up. I really do value structure and strategy around writing a marketing plan of different types of videos I'm going to be doing. But I also do, excuse me, I do focus a lot on inspiration. So what inspires you? What topics out there do you hear and see? What experiences do you have that you would like to share with your public? Now, at the start, once again, you might actually start creating little tiny 90-second videos. That's perfect. It is all about sharing the ideal experience. So one of the regulars that comes along to this Monday morning is Liz. Now, I would suggest Liz doing little videos, just putting it on Facebook and starting a community of really great customer experiences that you have at cafes. Now, it's reinforcing a positive momentum, and it tells people what you look for and what you hear and what you feel when you have your ideal customer experience in a hospitality environment. Does that make sense? One of also our regular tribal members, she's in health and fitness and health consciousness, as I spoke about last week. So her focus would be sharing really great quality conversations that she has with her clients, her friends and family, that inspired her and elevated her to another level of awareness when it comes to health and fitness and self-love and helping her feel good about herself. So when you see video blogs going out there and being created, what I would suggest is start to listen to the message. They're positive reinforcement of experiences that people have, okay? And the positive reinforcement of what people have, this is the deconstruction behind it all. You pay thousands of dollars for this information. I'm just giving it away. So the deconstruction of all of that is really, really important, because then you can be sitting there going, and you call your friend and you say, oh, I just had a really great experience. Tell people it is okay to get in front of the camera. Now, one lady said, I'm really worried about because I've got a double chin. And I'm like, oh my God, it's not about you. At the end of the day, if people love you and they're listening to you, they're not really going to be that worried. If you're worried, put the camera up. Okay, and it kind of, I'm showing you some really weird tips and tricks right now, but that's the way I think of it. Creating products is actually not about you, but if you've got a format, if you know what time of the day that you actually amplify and you are more creative, then that's when you do it. Okay, now some of you have really great morning rituals. I do. I've got a coffee, but one of my morning rituals before anything is I go into my my little office, I sit down, I breathe, and I meditate. Meditation and mindfulness. Hey, it's the new, no, it's actually not new. We know that's not new. It's been around for years, but a big part of creativity is calming yourself down, calming down the central nervous system, calming down that inner dialogue. And what happens is the body starts to relax and you start to feel inspired. When we're a little bit confused or being hard on ourselves, it shuts down our senses and we cannot navigate into life as much, okay? That's why I went out to nature yesterday, because I was like, you know what? I'm not navigating as well as I could. I'm a freaking creative chick, man. You got to know yourself. You got to back yourself. I'm getting a little bit of my warrior out now, but I watched this really great movie, and I'll end today's video on this, called Burnt. I don't know whether anyone's seen that. It's on chefs. I'm not a chef. I'm not even a great cook. I'm very, very good at toast. But he said that to one of the chefs, you're good, but you're not good enough. And she's like, why aren't I good enough? He goes, you're not arrogant enough. And this was very interesting because he learnt to calm down, and that's when he became really successful. He began to lean on other people and connect with other people. But also that internal swagger of knowing how bloody good you are is really important. And one of the things that come out of going to the bush yesterday and being in the beautiful nature was, I'm bloody good at what I do. You are bloody good at what you do. End of story. You don't need to hear anything else. You are bloody good at what you do. And being bloody good at what you do, it is okay to have a level of internal swagger. It actually, see, I'm sitting up straight, internally reinforces that it's okay for you to show up and be you. If you're in control here, you don't have to control the rest of the world, okay? And those of you who work from home, the reason this conversation is so important is that it is very easy to become a control freak of your environment. So balancing out both, having that structure and that strategy and that on button is really important. Let's recap before I let you guys go today, because you're absolutely amazing. Structure of your day. Ideal scenario, creativity. 11 o'clock, you hit the phones. In the afternoon, you're doing follow-up and doing a little bit of email responses. Then you shut the computer off unless you know you've got another phone call coming in. Don't worry about emails. I always say to people, after 6 o'clock, call me, man. Seriously, the laptop's gone away. If I'm on my laptop, I'm doing some other social types of things. So you've got that breakdown, okay? Second thing is creativity. What are you going to create? What's your thing you're going to create? Make sure you Facebook me or email me. Make sure you do. I want to know what you are creating this week, okay? Third thing is break through any challenges. Breaking through challenges will be able to yield the greatest success. You're getting that inspiration that comes through the body, and I tell you what you create will be your own unique voice, and you'll be incredibly proud of yourself. And when you go to bed at night, you'll be laying there going, oh my God, I'm amazing and I broke through. Thank you for Monday inspiration. Make sure you set your targets up. Make sure you focus your structure and strategy, and be sure to reinforce the fact that you're bloody amazing. You're amazing, and I'll see you next Monday. We're going to be smashing out next Monday. I'm going to be working with your businesses and you're doing more sales calls. But today was setting you up for the next level. Thanks very much, guys, and I will see you next Monday.